Look, let us get one thing straight before you waste another minute of your life watching financial gurus pretend they know the future. Complexity is a status signal for people who want to feel smart but stay poor. You are currently watching people talk about gold and silver like it is a mystical prophecy, while in reality it is just a hedge against the fact that your government has no idea how to stop printing money. The conversation about gold hitting $4,500 or $3,500 is a distraction for the average person who does not even have enough savings to cover a 6-month emergency fund. You are worried about the price of an ounce of gold, yet you are still buying groceries through expensive delivery apps because you are too lazy to drive to the store. And that is exactly why you will never be wealthy. Let us talk about the truth of the market. The consumer is not dead, but the average consumer is definitely dying. If you are not in the top 10% of earners, you are essentially a spectator in this economy. You are being crushed by inflation that makes a $140 trip to the gas pump feel like a personal attack. And instead of fixing your cash flow, you are looking for a miracle trade in Bitcoin. If you cannot explain it to a 12-year-old, you are just gambling. Let that sink in. People are talking about bear flags and technical indicators like they are decoding the matrix, but in the long run, the only thing that moves the needle is how much you save and how little you spend. The discussion regarding Japan and the bond market is fascinating if you enjoy academic exercises, but for your portfolio, it just means that the global debt cycle is broken and you are holding the bag. The experts on screen are debating whether the economy will collapse in 1 year or 5 years, and frankly, it does not matter. If you are properly allocated, you will survive regardless of the date. The obsession with timing the market is the ultimate act of vanity. You think you are smarter than the algorithm. You think you can catch the bottom of a gold retracement, but all you are doing is paying commissions to a broker who is laughing all the way to the bank. You want the secret to wealth. It is boring, it is tedious, it is remarkably unglamorous. You work, you save, you invest in simple, broad assets, and you do it every single month without fail. Stop looking at the charts, stop refreshing your brokerage account every 5 minutes, stop pretending that you understand why Meta is cutting 8,000 jobs. You do not need to understand it. You just need to understand that corporations prioritize their survival over your retirement. If you are sitting on cash waiting for the perfect moment to buy, you have already lost. The perfect moment was yesterday, and the next best moment is today, but you are too afraid of a 10% dip, so you wait. And while you wait, the value of your dollar evaporates. The irony is that you are terrified of losing 10% in the stock market, yet you lose more than that every year. Just by letting your cash sit in a low-interest checking account, look at your life. Identify the waste and kill it. That $200 grocery bill on an app that you could have cut by $50 if you walked into a store is a leak in your wealth. You are bleeding money in microtransactions and thinking that a 5% move in precious metals will save you. It will not. You need to grow up and accept that nobody is coming to save you. Not the Fed, not the new Fed chair, not the guy on YouTube with the fancy chart set up. The only person who can build your net worth is you, and the only way to do it is through relentless, boring consistency. The market is a machine that transfers money from the impatient to the patient. Be the patient one, sit in your chair, sip your coffee, and watch the idiots trade their futures away for a quick dopamine hit of a short-term win. When gold pulls back, buy it. When silver dips, buy it. When Bitcoin drops, buy it. But do not do it because of some complex narrative about central bank pivot points. Do it because you have a plan and you are sticking to it. The world is burning, sure, but your house does not have to burn with it if you stop piling on the debt. The debt system is a trap. It is a way to keep you working, to keep you compliant, to keep you stressed, and the moment you step out of the debt cycle, you win. It really is that simple. People call me lazy because I do not spend my days staring at flickering screens. But I call it efficiency. Why work hard when you can just be right about the fundamentals? The fundamentals are, debt is bad, saving is good, and buying assets during a panic is the only way to build real generational wealth. If you are looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, unsubscribe. Now, you are in the wrong place. I am here to build a base of capital, not to chase the next trend. And if that sounds boring to you, good, because boring is where the money is. The volatility you see in these charts is just the market shaking out the weak hands. Do not be a weak hand. Be the person who buys when everyone else is running for the exit. Be the person who understands that a 50% drop in a speculative asset is just an opportunity to lower your cost basis, provided you did not over-leverage your entire existence on a whim. The fact that people are surprised by the current economic volatility tells me they have never studied history. Every cycle ends in a reset. Every bubble bursts, and every time people act like it is the end of the world, it is not the end of the world. It is the end of an era of cheap money, and we are entering an era of harsh reality. If you are prepared, you will thrive. If you are not, you will blame the system, and that is your choice. The macroeconomic environment is chaotic, yet your personal financial management should be as robotic as a spreadsheet. Automate your savings, automate your investments, and stop listening to the noise. The noise is designed to make you panic, and when you panic, you sell low, and when you sell low, the institutions buy high. You are essentially providing liquidity for the people who are better at being boring than you are. If you want to change that, you need to detach your emotions from your portfolio. It is just money. It is a tool, not a part of your identity. If you lose money, it is a lesson. If you make money, it is a result. Keep it moving. Do not dwell on the losses and do not gloat on the wins. Just keep compounding. That is the secret. That is the only secret. Everything else is just marketing fluff for people who think they can beat the market. Spoiler alert, you cannot beat the market. You can only survive the market by being consistent. The current volatility in yield rates is a warning shot. It is telling you that the bond market is losing faith in the ability of governments to pay their bills. And if the bond market loses faith, you should be paying attention, but not by panic selling everything you own, but by ensuring that your assets are real, that they have intrinsic value. Gold has value, silver has value, hard assets have value. Promises from politicians have no value. The narrative about AI capex spending is interesting, but it is just another way for big tech companies to burn cash. They do not have, hoping for a future payoff that may never come. Ignore the hype, look at the cash flow, look at the balance sheet. If the math does not make sense, do not buy it. It does not matter if it is the hottest stock on the planet. If the underlying financials are garbage, it is garbage. People will say, I am cynical. I say I am realistic. And reality is often cynical. The world does not owe you a living, and the market does not care about your dreams. It only cares about supply and demand. And right now, the demand for stability is high, but the supply is low. Provide the stability for yourself, build your own floor. Do not rely on the government to bail you out when the next crisis hits, because they will not. They will be too busy bailing themselves out. The shift in the Fed chair position is another piece of political theater. It changes nothing about the fact that we have too much debt and not enough productivity. The names change, the problems remain the same, so stop focusing on the names and start focusing on the problems. The problem is your lack of a plan. The problem is your tendency to follow the crowd. The problem is your desire for excitement in your investments. Fix those three things and you are already ahead of 90% of the population. I am not trying to be your mentor. I am just a guy with $150,000 in assets and a very clear understanding of how this game is rigged. The rig is built on debt, and the only way to avoid being part of the rig is to be debt-free and asset rich. It is not a complex strategy, but it is a difficult one because it requires you to say no to yourself. It requires you to sacrifice today for a better tomorrow, and most people are simply not willing to do that. They want the reward without the work, they want the wealth without the discipline, and they will get exactly what they deserve. Nothing. Look at the gold chart again, not for the price, but for the cycle. We have been in a long-term uptrend, and these short-term pullbacks are normal, healthy, and necessary. If you are panicking during a normal correction, you should not be investing in anything more volatile than a savings account. Volatility is the price you pay for higher returns. If you cannot afford the price, do not buy the product. It is that simple. When people ask me how to get started, I tell them to start by cutting expenses before you even think about buying gold or Bitcoin. You need to stop losing money on useless junk. Clean up your financial house. Then you can talk about investment vehicles. Until then, you are just throwing good money after bad. The economy is going to get worse before it gets better. That is not a guess. That is a historical inevitability. We are at the end of a long debt cycle, and the resolution will not be pretty, but for the person who is prepared, who has hard assets, who has no debt, and who has a long-term horizon, this is not a crisis. It is a massive opportunity. Stay calm, stay focused, and for heaven's sake, stop watching the news. The news is the primary cause of poor financial decisions. It creates the panic that leads to the bad trades. Turn it off. Read a book. Look at your spreadsheets. And think for yourself. If you can do that, you are already halfway to financial freedom. The other half is just showing up every day and doing the boring work. It is a grind. It is meant to be a grind. If it were easy, everyone would be wealthy. And if everyone were wealthy, nobody would be working. So embrace the grind, embrace the boredom, and remember that you are building your future brick by brick, one small, boring, disciplined decision at a time. It is not sexy. It is not exciting. It is not going to make you an overnight millionaire, but it works. And in the end, that is all that matters. Stop chasing the hype, stop looking for the shortcuts, and stop listening to the people who are trying to sell you the dream of quick wealth. They are the ones who are getting rich off your ignorance. Be smarter than that. Be the one who sits on the balcony, drinks the coffee, and knows exactly why their wealth is secure, regardless of what the market does today or tomorrow or next year. Complexity is the enemy. Simplicity is the solution. Keep it simple, keep it boring, and keep it consistent. That is the only way to win this game, and trust me, it is a game you want to win. You just have to decide that you are willing to play it properly, play the long game, ignore the short-term noise, and stay focused on your goals. Everything else will eventually fall into place. I have said enough. Now go do the work or do not. It is your money, not mine. Just do not come back here complaining when your lack of discipline leads to the exact outcome that everyone with a brain saw coming from a mile away. The truth is cold, it is hard, and it is uncomfortable. But it is the truth, and once you accept it, you can finally start building something that lasts. Stop being a passenger in your own life. Take the wheel and drive your own path. It is the only way to get to where you want to go. And it starts with a single, boring, disciplined, and consistent step. Now go start. Or don't. I really do not care. Just don't expect the world to adapt to your inability to manage your own finances. The world is what it is, and you are either playing by the rules of wealth or you are being played by the systems of debt. Choose carefully, because once you make your choice, you have to live with the consequences. And that is all there is to it. Good luck, you are going to need it if you keep following the herd, because the herd is heading over a cliff, and I am sitting here on my balcony watching it happen, and I suggest you stop being part of that herd before it is too late. The choice is yours, and yours alone. Choose wisely and then do the work, because that is the only thing that separates the successful from the failed in this economy. The work, the boring, repetitive, unglamorous work, get after it or get left behind. It is your call. I am done talking. Now it is time for you to start acting or keep dreaming, your choice. But remember, dreams do not pay the bills, only assets do. So build assets, not dreams, and you will be fine. I promise. It is not rocket science. It is just basic arithmetic. And if you can manage that, you are already ahead of most people, so go do it and be patient. The reward will come, it just takes time. And that is okay, because you have time, or you should have time if you are managing it right. So do not rush it, do not force it, just let the process work. And before you know it, you will be in a position of power. And that is a great place to be. So get to it and stay the course no matter how hard it gets. No matter how much the noise increases, stay the course and you will prevail. That is the only way. There is no other way. Just stay the course and do the work. The end, get out of here and go be productive. Or don't. I am going to finish my coffee. Now peace out, and remember that nothing matters more than your own discipline, not the Fed, not the rates, not the news, only your discipline. Build it, own it, and live it, because it is the only thing that is truly yours. The rest is just temporary. So make it count, make it real, make it yours, and then sit back and enjoy the results of your own hard work, because you earned it, every single cent of it. Now go get it and be better than the rest, because the rest are just sheep, and sheep get slaughtered. So be a wolf, be smart, be disciplined, and most importantly, be patient. The long term is the only game worth playing. And if you are not playing the long game, you are just waiting to lose. So get in the game, stay in the game, and win the game. That is all I have to say. Now goodbye and good luck, because you are going to need it if you keep living like you are not in control of your own future. You are in control, so start acting like it and take responsibility for your own financial life, because nobody else will. And that is the brutal truth. Deal with it and move on, because life is short and you have better things to do than to worry about things you cannot control. So control what you can and ignore the rest. That is the secret to a happy life and a wealthy one. So go do it and be done with it. I am out of here. See you in the next one. If you haven't figured it out by then, well, that is on you. So keep trying. Or don't. I am done. Seriously, go do something productive. Bye. Seriously, turn off the screen and go do something. Anything. Just get off the internet and start living. That is my final advice. Go live and be free, because that is the ultimate goal. Freedom. And you can only get it through discipline, so get it and be free and stay free. And don't ever look back, because the past is the past and the future is yours to build. So build it well and be proud of what you build, because it is yours and yours alone. And that is a beautiful thing, a truly beautiful thing. So cherish it, protect it, and grow it. And never let anyone take it from you, because you worked for it and you deserve it. And that is all there is to say. So go be great and be wealthy, because you can and you should and you will if you do the work. So get to work and stop talking, start doing, because doing is what matters, and doing is what changes everything. So go and do and be and have, because you can have it all if you do the work. So go and do and win, because winning is the only option and you are a winner. So act like it and win and win and win, because winning is what you were made to do. So win and be done with it and be free and be happy, because you deserve it and you can have it. So go and win and win and win the end, truly the end. No more words, just action. Go now. Go. Seriously. I mean it. Go and win. Goodbye. Good luck, and stay focused. Always, forever, and ever. Just win and keep winning. And be the best version of yourself. Always, no matter what, no matter where, no matter when. Just win and win and win. The end. That is it. Go and win. Bye and good luck, because you will need it, but you will also have it, because you are a winner. So win and be done with it. Win. Win, 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 win. The end. Finally, win. Bye. See ya. Take care and win. Always win, 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 and win. That is all. Just win. Bye and win. Always win, win, win. The end.